So this was my one golden opportunity to rage bait the French. Anyway, before I cut into the glizzy croissant, look at this. Just look. I'm so proud. Anyway, proud
That one does look good.
Let's bastardize this thing. I topped my quazizzy with mustard and it was time to eat.
He said my quazizzy. All right. And today we are going to be checking out some more Chef Phoenix. I took a look at his potato maxing video a while ago and it didn't do well. But that doesn't matter because I'm just gonna take some more look at him anyway. Like, I love his content, bro. Like, he's one of my favorite, like, not just like newer food content creators, but he, like, just in general, he's one of like my favorite ones for short form content because he doesn't just like cook some good food here and there. He does like food experiments, so I really like those types of creators. So if you guys have any other ones you recommend, I'll go ahead and take a look at them as well. But anyways, with that being said, like and subscribe, support the original video, and let's get into it.
I genuinely do not know how to start this video because I don't really know what I've made, but I can at least try and explain myself. The aim of the game was to make mini Rice Krispie treats, but the problem is I wanted the rice to be small too, and I recently found out about this thing called amaranth, which are these tiny seeds, but if you heat them in the right way, then they pop kind of like popcorn, just like teeny tiny little popcorn kernels, which is the kind of thing that I find very exciting, and I figured they'd be the perfect substitution in my mini Rice Krispie treats. However, this is where my first mistake came in. My mixture ended up being really dense, so I thought, oh, I'll remedy it by adding peanut butter. I don't really know why I thought that, but it kind of worked.
Peanut butter Rice Krispies?
But I then realized that by themselves they're not very interesting. So I thought to myself, okay, well maybe I'll make a few flavors, and then I could mix them all together and make a mini Rice Krispie treat cereal, which in my head sounded like it might be a good idea. But to be honest, I am also heavily biased, because by this point I had spent way more time than I'm actually willing to admit into getting this project together, which by this point I was refusing to admit had gotten completely away from me.
I already am gonna crush these. Like, no joke. I already would like crush these 100%. I love Rice Krispies. If you give me like a Rice Krispie like cubed cereal type of thing, the whole bag is gone. Especially if you give me chocolate Rice Krispies. Anyone who didn't like chocolate Rice Krispies, I don't think you're a real person.
But despite it not being really what I actually set
Andy
out
put powdered
I do
sugar
think
on
that I've
that
still
one?
ended up with something pretty cool. Even if it does look kind of like what I imagine Kibble would look like in the Minecraft universe. It's very good. I've got no idea what this video is though. Okay, goodbye. I genuinely do not know how to...
Like, see, that's why I like him, because he'll just do random stuff like this. It's not like, oh, I made a cereal. Like, he's not making something he's probably seen other people make. Like, normally he's making something that either A, no one else has really done, or B, he's taking something he's seen from someone else and like mixing it up crazily.
Today I'm gonna colonize tiramisu because some of
You're gonna what?
you have said that as an English content creator that I have strayed too far from my British roots. So today I will be doing the most English thing of all, stealing something from another country, making a few minor adjustments, and claiming it as my own British invention. Today
Yep, sounds about right.
his target is tiramisu, and I have steeped tea leaves in the cream before whipping it, in an attempt to make a tiramisu. But the teification of the tiramisu does not stop there, because instead of espresso, I will be soaking my ladyfingers in a sweet tea. And from here, we're basically going to follow the protocol of a classic tiramisu, which is pretty straightforward. It's just a layer of soaked ladyfingers, followed by a layer of cream, and then the whole process is repeated. But this is where I activated my big British brain, because normally a tiramisu...
Wait, I just realized, did he call those lady fingers? Wait, back it up. Lady fingers?
in an attempt to make a tiramisu. But the teification of the tiramisu does not stop there, because instead of espresso, I will be soaking my ladyfingers in a sweet
My lady fingers. Okay.
tea.
What
And
are
from here, we're basically going to follow the protocol of a
Lady
classic
fingers?
tiramisu, which is pretty straightforward. It's just a layer of soaked ladyfingers, followed by a layer of cream, and then the whole process is repeated. But this is where I activated my big British brain, because normally a tiramisu is topped with cocoa powder, but that just wouldn't do in my British Max tiramisu. So I caramelized a bunch of milk powder, and I used that as my topping instead. Side note, has anybody tried making milk with caramelized milk powder? What would happen? Anyway, just for a bit of texture, I covered the whole thing in crumbled rich tea biscuits. And
That's
now we
fair.
try it. Oh, I just say, this is awesome.
Okay, that looks nice. That looks nice. Nothing too crazy, but that looks nice. It looks nice.
If you ordered a pizza and all you got was a circle of stuffed crust, would you be mad? I mean, yeah.
I would not be mad because of that cheese pull. Wait, hold on. No, because rewind that.
If you ordered a pizza and all you got was a circle of stuffed crust.
That's not bad. Hold on. No. Because think about it. Stuffed crust pizza circle? It's kind of tough.
Would you be mad? I mean, yeah, you probably would be mad. That would be some bullshit. But that is what I'm doing in today's video. Because I've had the idea to make stuffed crust no pizza in my head for about a year. And I think if something lives in my head for that long, I have to act on it. To be honest, even now, I'm not totally convinced that this is a good idea. But this video needs to exist so that I can get this idea out of my notes app. You might say that this is just an overly complicated calzone.
I don't know about using the string cheese, though. Is that string cheese? Or is that just like some like that's string cheese? I don't know about using the string cheese. I'd have to like get the Mexican 4 cheese in that shit, or get some. How good is Gouda with pizza? Let me know if anyone's had like Gouda cheese on pizza.
My notes app. You might say that this is just an overly complicated calzone. And to that I would say maybe, but I would also raise the question, why isn't this a real pizza? What are the core components needed for a pizza? Maybe the shape, maybe the toppings, maybe the dough? If a pizza has all those components but it's missing the center, then what right do we really have to not call it a true pizza? Anyway, to be honest, I don't really care. Because if I delve too deep into the semantics of food, then I'll get a bunch of weirdos who insist that a pizza is actually a sandwich. It's not, and this also isn't a pizza, but it does look good. It's nice.
I mean, this is still like pretty good. I don't mind stuffed crust by itself, especially if you like shebang it a bit, you feel me? But I will say, put some pepperoni in it. Like just go all in and put some pepperoni in it. Make a pizza ring.
Unfortunately, I need to make my first influencer apology because I upset the jelly community. My bad. You see, the other day I made a video about this trifle, and in that video, not only did I say that I didn't like the jelly, but I also said that it shouldn't even be in trifles. And I didn't really think that that would be a controversial opinion. But the comments in that video absolutely took me to town. I didn't realize that there were this many.
What did that comment say?
Absolutely.
I love jelly and I hate you. You should be beaten. That's crazy.
I didn't realize that there were this many die-hard jelly supporters. And I think in my infinite hubris, I may have struck a bit of a wibbly-wobbly nerve. So today I thought I'd give them all a proper chance. And I would try and correct the mistake I made by leaving out the jelly. And luckily I had a bunch of leftover trifle. So I thought what might be fun is if I try and turn this trifle into an ice cream, which surprisingly actually ended up working. But the texture was a little bit off. But that's okay because
Bro, no. His ice cream ideas be crazy. He will like just be like, you know what? I'm going to turn this into ice cream. And an ice cream maker with a guy who does experimental stuff is like deadly. Because this man has probably made some of the craziest ice creams, bro. Oh my gosh, when I get money, I want an ice cream maker.
I could fix it by adding a tiny bit of milk. And I now had ice cream made of 100% trifle. And the plan is to join these two components together, like an unholy Frankenstein's version of a trifle. But I'm not gonna lie, it did look a little bit ugly. But luckily for me, I can fix almost anything with sprinkles. This is some real Willy Wonka bullshit. I like it. But I still don't know if I trust things that wibble and wobble. Because the jelly's by far my least favorite part. Anyway, it's pretty good. Goodbye. Unfortunately, today's theory is that everything that's a good sandwich would also be a good pizza. I don't know if it's true, but today we're going to test it. And we're going to start on a salmon.
Let's stop. Let's go here. Okay. So what exact... So we have... I don't know what this is, but those are like two normal sandwiches.
Today's theory is that everything that's a good sandwich would
absolutely not
also be a good pizza.
Maybe.
I don't know if it's true. But...
Hear me out. Hear me out. The pickle and mustard combo. You know pickles and mustard just go together. So why not add the crunch of some crust behind? Do I agree that pickles should go on pizza dough? Not really. But with the right ingredients, anything can go on pizza dough.
But today we're going to test it. And we're going to start on a salmon and cream cheese bagel. Which means I first have to infuse my dough with everything bagel seasoning. Because that is, in my opinion, the only kind of bagel. And the trick with this pizza is that we want to have all the toppings go on raw. Which means I bake my crust with a weight in the center. Which is a trick that I learned by angering the entire country of Australia when I made fairy bread pizza and everyone got mad at me. Anyway, this does look good, but is it better than a bagel? Way better than a bagel. No hope. The second sandwich I'm...
Wait, I just realized you're making a bagel pizza and you're putting cucumbers and... Okay, wait, no. This one's not cooked. Because one, that means that's cream cheese or sour cream cheese. Two, I've never heard anyone put no onions or freaking cucumber on a bagel. You put cream cheese, and at the most, you get a sausage and egg bagel from like Dunkin' or something. Never have I seen anyone put this on a bagel. Like bacon even is fine, but onions and cucumbers?
Got mad at me. Anyway, this does look good, but is it better than a bagel? Way better than a bagel. No hope. The second sandwich I'm going to pizzafy is a Cubano, which was a sandwich made popular by the movie Chef, which was then made popular by the YouTube.
Oh, I love a Cubano. I love a good Cubano. I had a Cubano not even that long ago for like the first time in Vegas. This place at a hotel, they had a Cubano. It was tough. It was tough. So I want to see how this turns out.
Super Max Mofo. By the way, guys,
is this the one on the left or the right?
The sandwich is basically mustard, mojo pork, ham, and pickles. And
the
whole
this
thing
is
topped with Swiss cheese. And this was by far the easiest sandwich to transfer into pizza form. However, I did think it would be better if I put the pickles on after it came out the oven, because genuinely nobody wants a hot pickle.
Nah. I'll eat that. I'm crushing that one.
This is amazing. And for my last sandwich, I thought I'd go rogue. And I thought I'd make a peanut butter and jelly pizza. And since I was already getting experimental, I thought I'd try this trick where you use ice on the pizza base. Because it allows you to keep the center raw while keeping the crust really puffy. Which is exactly what I wanted from this dessert pizza. And I was very proud of it, but the real question is it any good?
Yeah, this is really good. Alright, goodbye.
PB&J pizza. No.
I couldn't decide if I wanted croissants or breakfast cereal. And I don't like making choices, so I decided that I would have both. And luckily for me, in my last video, I made croissant dough for the first time. So if you've seen that video, don't worry, I'm not going to show the whole process again. But if you haven't, just know that it's extremely long and I doubted myself the entire way through. But against all odds, my croissants actually worked. And I now had a fair amount of leftover croissant dough to play with. And while there were a lot of possibilities...
He keeps saying like croissant.
For what this could become. The idea of making a bunch of teeny tiny croissants and eating them like breakfast cereal just seemed like the obvious thing to do. But it would be super lame if I just made plain croissants. So I chopped up a bunch of chocolate buttons and I transformed them into the batons for my mini pain au chocolat. Anyway, after a truly immense amount of effort, I made enough croissants for one single bowl of cereal, making this possibly the highest effort bowl of cereal ever. But even though they look good right now, they're not done. Because in order for them
I actually remember when he made cereal from scratch.
To actually hold up in a bowl of milk, everything needs to be dehydrated for at least a day. And after 24 hours, they both looked and sounded like cereal. But the question on my mind is this something that's worth doing at all?
Unfortunately for you guys, this is really
There's
good.
no way that's
You'll never
good.
be able to have
No, I'm sorry. There's no way that's good. I know it's kind of the same, but dude, that's straight bread and milk. There's no way that's better than some like the way I would gauge if something's better than cereal is if it tastes better than Cheerios. If this tastes better than Cheerios, I'll give you the point. Like, and I'm saying plain, not honey nut, not like the multigrain, because the multigrain got something to it. Just anything but regular freaking Cheerios, because those Cheerios are plain as hell. They taste like you're chewing some styrofoam. I don't even know what else to say about it, because those, I'll never eat plain Cheerios again. Especially won't be eating no Joe-O's again.
it. It's all for me. Okay, goodbye.
I had way too much homemade butter that I needed to use up. And somebody in the comments of my last
Homemade
video suggested
butter.
that I make croissants, which is something I've never wanted
Like, see, this is the type of man to just... I keep switching to the wrong screen. This is the type of man to just make some butter, y'all.
to do ever. Because I'm going to be totally honest, I think it just looks too hard. And I'm fully aware of the skills that I do have and the skills that I do not have. And a lot of people will say, well, no, actually, baking croissants is really easy. You just have to follow instructions. But following instructions is exactly the thing that I'm bad at doing. If you watch any of my videos, you'll see that the only thing I'm actually consistently good at is riffing. So when you show me a recipe that takes 2 days, and if I do anything wrong, the recipe fails,
takes 2
then I do
days?
start to have doubts and
Wait, it takes like 2 days to make croissants?
the confidence of my own abilities. But with that being said, you don't learn how to do anything unless you accept you might fail. And only through trying new things are you given the opportunity to innovate. For example, here is my innovation. I've decided today to also try making a glizzy croissant, because I might never make croissant dough again. So this was my one golden opportunity to rage bait the French. Anyway, before I cut into the glizzy croissant, look at this. Just look. I'm so proud. Anyway, proud
That one
father
does look
moment over.
good.
Let's bastardize this thing. I topped my quazizi with mustard and it was time to eat.
He said my quazizi. Yo, No, I'm gonna say that anytime if I ever have like hot dogs on a croissant, I'm saying Quazizi. That's a new one.
Today I'm going to try and fix the sins of Britain's past.
Okay, this is the joint from the video we just took a look at.
Well, I mean, you know, as much as I can. I don't think I can fix everything. But what I can fix is the fact that we made a dessert which was so close to being better than tiramisu, but then we went ahead and ruined it. And if you don't know, a trifle is one of those classic UK dishes which are so close to being good, but the Brits just can't help themselves from putting jelly in things. Other classic examples of this phenomena include pork pies and eels. But at its core, a trifle...
Pork pies and eels have jelly in it? Yeah, y'all can keep y'all
really
shit.
should be amazing. It's just layers of custard, cream, cake, and berries. But for some mind-boggling reason, the majority of the UK still insists on putting a thick layer of gelatin at its base. I truly believe that this is a cultural hangover from the 70s that we need to abandon. You know, collectively as a society, I think anytime we see jelly, we probably should take a minute and think, you know, maybe this would be nicer without beef bones in it. I could be biased and British, but this could be better than tiramisu. Anyway, goodbye. Today I'm gonna try and fix the
Yeah, no, that's fair. Like jelly in that type of dessert, it's like you get like a gelatin cake or like just some jello. I don't think you really mix jelly and cake type, like, you know, desserts like that. I don't know how to put it.
At their core, marshmallows and gummies are just gelatin and sugar. The only difference is the amount of air in them. So does that mean we can turn any gummy
Are those the Haribo Coca-Cola joints? Hold on.
gummies into marshmallows? To find out, I'm going to be testing 3 different types of sweets. And I'm going to start with gummy bears. The process of turning them into marshmallows is pretty straightforward. All we're really doing is melting them down
Gummy
and
bear
whipping air into them
marshmallows.
using my stand mixer.
Oh.
But you might be able to do this by hand if you are a maniac. Then all we need to do is leave them to set and cool down for a while. And I'm not going to lie,
You are gonna get like some diabetics if you oh wow. This will get you in the hospital. I'm sorry. Like, you're turning gummy bears into marshmallows.
I was genuinely surprised that this actually worked, and I was very excited to try it. Oh, dude. You know
Is
the
it like
base
is
of
it
the
like
fried
still
egg
tough?
Haribo? This is exactly what that tastes like. It's like nice and dense
It's like still chewy and oh
and
no.
chewy. But one successful experiment does not mean that this works every time. But I was quite hopeful that I would be getting some cola-flavored marshmallows quite soon. And while it did seem to work, the texture was quite different. Oh, that definitely tastes like cola balls. But it's not as dense. It's a bit stretchy. So now I have no idea what was going to happen with these Sour Patch Kids. And what's worse,
Oh, Sour Patch Kids gonna get on your ass. They are going to knock your door down.
is they just didn't melt. And when I tried to figure out why, I realized that they just don't have any gelatin in them. So I decided to cheat. I strained out the solids and I added some gelatin. So effectively what I've actually made here is kind of just regular marshmallows that have been flavored with Sour Patch Kids. But that doesn't really matter because, to be honest, I'm still quite interested to see what it tastes like. It tastes very blue. I think that's easily the best one, but I did have to cheat to make it work, so...
I would have that though. I'm not. Call me a fat ass. I'm sorry. Like, I know I just said this shit is diabetics in a can, but like, you can't tell me you won't crush Sour Patch Kids marshmallows with the faces. Like, you won't. Don't tell me you won't crush that. Don't lie to yourself. You know your back is big too.
I don't know if it counts. Anyway, this is so fun. Goodbye. At their core, marshmallows and gummies are just gelatin and sugar. The only difference... Today I genuinely made waffles by accident. And you might ask how I could possibly do that. Well, it all started because I wanted to make a trifle, which for those of you who know is actually a very simple dish. It's basically just one step above strawberries and cream. But the main thing that you need to
Okay, so this is him trying to make the trifle before making the trifle.
get right for a good trifle is whipped cream. And I majorly over-whipped my cream, to the point where it was basically moments away from becoming butter. So I decided that I would just lean into my mistakes. And if the cream wants to be butter,
And
then
he
who am I to
made
stop it? And you might not
butter?
know this, but when you make butter from scratch, all you're
So that's where he got the underused homemade butter.
really doing is separating the fat from the liquid. So not only do we get butter, but we also get buttermilk, which we'll need to wash from our butter, which was a sensory experience I did not enjoy. And I now not only became the proud owner of a block of butter, but also a few cups of buttermilk. But it wasn't until tasting the buttermilk that I remembered that all of this has a sweet vanilla flavor, because it all came from cream that I was going to use.
He's gonna
in
make
a
ice
trifle.
cream out
So
of
I
it,
figured
isn't
the
it?
only use case for these two products would be
Oh no, he's
use
gonna
them
make
to
a
something
waffle
sweet.
out of
And I'm
it.
not gonna lie, I was feeling a little lazy, so buttermilk waffles were the only thing that I could actually think of at the time.
Ooh, I know they're just normal buttermilk waffles, but think about how that shit is homemade, straight from the butter. Like, you made butter on accident, so from that, you got butter and some buttermilk and turn that into some buttermilk and that waffle looks like a waffle. Like that looks like some shit you'd only see when someone knows how to make some waffles. No rough edges, perfect around the sides, not too puffy, not too shapy. It's like just, that's right. That's right, bro. That's right.
Plus, they had the benefit of me getting to use the strawberries that I was going to use in the trifle.
That's good. I still have a whole bowl of vanilla butter. So if you know what to do with it, please tell me. Goodbye.
Today I'm making 3 levels of food that I don't have to cook because I don't have AC and it is way too hot.
This was during, I guess this was during the heat wave, bro. Like that heat wave was kicking everyone's ass, bro. Short little side story. I had to stay in a hotel for a night because the heat was like way too hot for me and my mom to stay in the house. Also, side note, all of my family's capacitors blew out, like except for like my cousins who lives in an apartment out of state. But my family who lives in another state, my aunt and our house, like all of our capacitors blew out in our AC systems.
In my phone. All the Europeans in my audience already know how hot it is, but for my US audience, it's about 104 degrees Fahrenheit. So the first dish I'm making today is ice. And I'm not exaggerating, I actually need to do this. But I'm going to move on to something
That's
that I
fair.
can actually eat. And I'm going to make some steak tartare. Not because I'm particularly fond of it, but I had a whole separate plan for the steak today. And I was going to make some kind of steak
There's some
pizza
pickles,
video. But the idea of turning my oven
onions.
up to max settings genuinely made me feel
What
ill.
is
So I
that?
needed to film a video and I needed to use the ingredients in my fridge. So here you go.
Just
I have made
mayonnaise?
an ice cold steak tartare served with the
Oh, it's
finest
steak.
crisp that I could find in my local corner shop.
It's damn good.
And for the final level of uncooked food, I actually think
Doesn't
that
look
the
bad.
heat increased my IQ because I've decided to make Brazilian lemonade push pops. If you're not
Brazil-
terminally online like me,
Hold
you
on.
might not know that Brazilian lemonade was basically the most viral drink on the internet for a really long time. But in my mind, it's kind of similar to a lime-flavored orange creamsicle. Or if you're from the UK, the closest reference point would probably be a Twister. Anyway, it's kind of one of those things that skirts the line between ice cream and sorbet. And it was indeed extremely refreshing.
That's good. I still feel like nothing beat level 1.
Okay, that's tough. I think those are tough.
How much ice cream can I make from one giant Oreo?
This is a problem only I can solve, because I'm the only man who
When did he
recently
make
made a giant
a
Oreo
gi-
and I need to use it up.
When did bro make the giant Oreo?
Which is usually the biggest challenge I face when I make these novelty food videos. I always need to get creative and think about how I'm actually going to eat the thing that I made. And sometimes it's easy. Most of the time I end up just cutting it up and giving it to my friends. But unfortunately, I've been a social recluse recently, so I didn't have anyone to share my big Oreo with. So I figured the best thing to do would be to turn it into as many tubs of ice cream that I can. And then either one of two things will happen. Either A, I will stay a social recluse, and I will eventually eat all of these tubs of ice cream, or B, I will climb out of my hermit hole.
That
I will
is
bear
a-
the gift of cookies and cream ice cream.
That's a crazy ice cream maker. Like that took the no, hold on. We gotta talk about this machine. Cause he put he put the milk in it, right?
And then either one of two things will happen. Either A, I will stay a social recluse, and I will
Puts the milk in it. It's making the ice cream already, and then he'll dump the Oreos in there so it makes Oreo ice cream.
eventually eat all of these tubs of ice cream, or B, I will climb out of my hermit hole, and I will bear the gift of cookies and cream ice cream for anyone who will take me. Anyway, to answer the question that I asked at the start of this video,
5 tubs.
5 tubs from a giant Oreo is not bad.
did you know that in the Great
Alright.
Depression they used to make potato candy? And honestly, just the thought of that alone gives me a Great Depression. But I've decided that I want to start remaking food that's gone out of fashion, to see if there's anything that we should bring back from the
I think I've seen what's his name? Dylan Hollis, if y'all know, make potato candy. That's another W person we could watch.
past. And I had no idea what this would taste like, so I thought it was a good place to start. To make the candy, we combine boiled potatoes with powdered sugar. And honestly, the amount of powdered sugar that you have to add is truly insane. You basically need to keep adding sugar until the potatoes turn it into a workable dough. And you might think that this ends up like a sweet mashed potato, but I think that the potato's just there to help stabilize everything, because this really does end up being way more sugar than potato. And in some kind of attempt to make your brain think that you're not just eating straight sugar, the recipe then calls for you to spread the entire abomination in peanut butter. Then all you have to do is
Yeah, this was definitely from the Great Depression.
roll the whole thing up and chill it in the fridge for a few hours. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I don't think that this looks very good, but on this channel we keep an open mind. So let's actually give it a proper chance.
They look like chopped up, what are they? Not yo-yos, Rolos, is that what they're called? YOLOs, Rolos? I forget what they're called.
Almost no potato flavor. It's just sugar and peanut butter. Maybe that's a good thing, but still, I can see why this went out of fashion. Let's leave it in the past. Goodbye.
Did you know A year ago, I made some videos where I made small food things,
Here's
and
the
those videos
giant
kickstarted my growth
Oreo.
as a channel and led to some seriously cool stuff. But despite the fact that those videos were very successful, I pretty much stopped doing them entirely. Partially because they're really hard to make, but also because at the time I was very scared of becoming a one-trick pony. And I was worried that if I only did this type of content, then I'd never be able to branch out and do other stuff. And I was actually successful. I've now built a community where I feel like I can make videos about kind of whatever I want. But I still feel like you guys yearn to see food in different sizes. So today I'm going to give you all a trade offer. And I'm actually very proud to announce that as a community, we've been nominated for UK Food Creator of the Year. And my trade offer is very simple. If you guys vote for me and we win, then I will bring back But Bigger and But Smaller. And together we will learn for the second time whether food should be resized. And I'm going to be honest, if you don't like me holding you hostage, then you also should vote for me. Because I'm a very socially anxious person. And the idea of going on stage and accepting an award genuinely terrifies me
I will go ahead and crush that too.
more than anything.
Hell yeah. It's genuinely very good, but it's too much. I'm gonna have to turn it into ice cream or something. I'm sorry for holding you hostage.
Yo, oh my god, that's a giant ass Oreo, but that being made into 5 tubs of ice cream is pretty good. It's pretty
This
resourceful.
odd looking thing is actually salt. In fact, it's sometimes called
That looks like an ancient artifact from Splatoon Raiders.
dinosaur egg salt, and it's one of the rarest forms of salt in the world, and it cost me more than 50 quid, so today we're going to find out if it's worth it. The way this salt is made is actually extremely labor intensive, and might be too much to get into in a 1-minute short, but the main highlight for me is that each one is hand-baked in clay pots over huge fires, and there's only a few families left on a tiny island in the Philippines that make salt this way, and supposedly it has a unique smoky flavor, and it's often used as a finishing salt for something like a steak, and I wouldn't recommend doing this, but I kind of wanted to taste it plain, and to compare it to regular table salt, just to see if I could tell the difference. But as you might have expected, this experiment wasn't really a success, because eating straight up salt is too salty. So I decided to treat this thing with the respect it deserves, and I got a really way too expensive steak. And the plan is to use it as it's intended to be used, as a finishing salt for something special. But in order for this to be a proper experiment, I finished half the steak with the salt I would normally use, and for the other half I used the dinosaur egg.
Let's put a bit more on. I mean, to be honest, it doesn't taste that different. But that doesn't stop it from being a cool thing. I really like it. I'd buy it again. I think it's cool. It's nifty. Goodbye.
This odd a dinosaur egg used as salt is fucking insane. We live in a crazy world.
This is a fake cheese pull, and it's a pretty common trick amongst food influencers. And today I'm going to expose all of us by sharing a bunch of ball knowledge from doing this as a quote-unquote job for a full year. The first trick for a camera-friendly cheese pull is the type of cheese used. You need to make sure that you've got both American and mozzarella in there, because they have the perfect mix of gooey and stringy that creates a very nice cheese pull. From here on out, you almost cook it like you would a normal grilled cheese. But the key difference is if you were to just cut this and try and get a cheese pull, you might be a bit disappointed. So what we need to do is to perform some truly unnecessary surgery and fill in the gap we just created with more mozzarella and American. Then it's just a matter of toasting it one more time. And honestly, it wouldn't be a short-form friendly cooking video if we don't needlessly scrape a fork across anything that might be crunchy. Also, we need to make sure the video loops so we maintain a high retention percentage. This is a fake cheese pull.
Oh shit! Yo, that's tough. Hey, like you know, they say a magician never reveals secrets, but hey, the magician revealed the secrets, bruh. Hey, W-Mans.
Did you know that onion powder is always made of brown onions? To me, this does beg the question, what happens if we dehydrate other alliums? And to be honest, I just don't know how to use Google. So today I'm going to be answering the question for myself. Can onion powder come in different colors? And have we segregated ourselves from true flavor? Is there a form of onion powder yet undiscovered? To find out, I chopped up a truly obnoxious amount of oniony type product. Today I'm testing a leek, some chives, and
This reminds me of the main video we watched by the long form video we watched by him where he made like kimchi powder.
some red onions. And I know that there might be some pedants in the comments who just have to tell me that this doesn't count because a leek is technically not an onion. But to be honest, I just don't really care, because I could have used a spring onion. But I don't know, I just thought doing a leek would be more interesting. Anyway, once my onions were all dehydrated, I blended them up, and I was now the proud owner of 3 different colors of onion powder. And I figured that the best possible way to test how delicious these are would be to throw them on some homemade onion rings. And I don't really need to state the obvious, but each powder did look noticeably different. Now, the red one came out this deep purple, but my favorite of the 3 is the chives, which I will definitely be using to turn my food green
Chive
in the near
powder
future.
is
But visuals aside, do these 3 powders taste any different?
I mean, my main takeaway is that onion rings are good.
Oh yeah.
But the difference between these 3 is pretty subtle. I'm not sure that most people would be able to tell flavor-wise, but the color contrast is cool. Anyway, nifty.
You'd probably have to use it like it'd probably be a thing where it's like a specific recipe calls for it because this specific food would benefit from it. But I could also just see this being like a neat type of thing in your kitchen, you know?
This is the most horrible video that I've ever made, and it's all because I was
Why?
peer pressured
That looks
by
good.
a famous YouTuber. Now let me explain. A few months ago, I made these rat-shaped dumplings, and in the comment section of that,
I think I remember
a YouTuber
that.
some of you might recognize got over 40,000 likes from saying this.
Eat a
Oh shoot, Chef Tyler. Eat a squirrel
squirrel
grape?
man.
And I'm not one to back down from a
Oh
challenge.
no, eat a
And even
squirrel.
if it does look like a fetus, it's completely legal to buy and eat squirrel in the UK. But I'm gonna be nice to you guys, and I'm not gonna
Let's just continue.
show you too much of the raw squirrel, which I seasoned extremely aggressively, and I even bathed it in 2 different types of pickle juice, because I wanted to do everything in my power to taste as little pure squirrel flavor as possible. And I figured that the only way that I'd get over the mental barrier of eating what is essentially a tree rat is if I can trick my brain into thinking that it's just chicken wings.
So the chicken from the beginning was squirt.
And then I even went the extra mile, and I gave my Kentucky Fried Squirrel an additional seasoning, and I coated the whole plate in as many pretty garnishes as I could think of. But I'm gonna be honest, I was too much of a wimp. I couldn't do it.
I don't want to eat this.
So I gave it to my brother.
I made you fried chicken.
Why do I not believe you?
I'm sorry I accidentally cyberbullied you into eating a squirrel.
What the fuck is this?
Goodbye.
This is the most horrible video that
We're gonna wrap it up there, bro. That seems like a good place to wrap it up. That is gonna be Chef Phoenix YouTube Shorts. I hope you guys enjoy this one. I hope this does well. Even if it doesn't, I'm probably gonna spin back on Chef Phoenix. Like, I love this man's videos, bro. Y'all don't know. Like, this was one of the only food content creators I was following like very closely. And this man's tough. I love all of his videos. Like, his experimental stuff is fun. One of my favorite videos from this man till this day, I said this in the last Chef Phoenix video too, the chicken parm pizza. I need to make it. Chicken parm pizza sounds gas. It's not like pizza with chicken parm on it. It is a chicken parm that looks like a pizza, has a crust, and has like some cheese and stuff on top of it. Like, it's gas. It looks gas, bro. It looks gas. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe. Turn on notifications so y'all know when vids drop. Go ahead and support the original creator, Chef Phoenix. Link will be in the description below. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Also, don't forget to follow my socials. Whew. I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.